So the Chicago Sky just beat the undefeated super team, New York Liberty, not Mystics. Mystics are terrible. But that was a huge game. A huge game for Chicago. And a big game for Angel Reese. Like, coming up to that fourth quarter, I was like mentally preparing myself for how I was going to talk about the game and try to make sure that the box score watchers realize the impact that Angel Reese had in the first half and the impact that she had in making sure that Breanna Stewart got into no rhythm and why they were up at halftime. And yeah, I was expecting that because coming into the fourth quarter, I think she had 5 points, like 4 rebounds, 1 steal early in the game, and was like 0 of 7 from the field. Then in the fourth quarter, everything changed. Like she goes and hits 1 free throw. She hits 1 free throw, and I think the next possession, she gets a steal, ends up finishing a fast break layup, and as soon as she finished the fast break layup, she ended up scoring her next 3 shots. So she scored her last 3 shots after starting off 0 for 7 from the field, which I will say it is right now. Like, Angel Reese finishes fine in transition. She finishes fine when it's kind of open. She is one of the worst finishers through contact I've ever seen. Like, there was a possession where she did end up getting another offensive board and kicking it out. Or someone got an offensive board off her and ended up kicking it out to a 3. But, like, she got an offensive board under the rim. And she was directly under the rim. And she threw the ball away from the rim. Like, it was just strange. And anytime there's contact, she really struggles to finish. I don't know how much better that's going to get this season. Just because it almost seems like it's the way she's releasing the ball. Like, the position she releases the ball from in layups makes it really hard to score through contact. But what Angel Reese did really well was draw fouls. Like, she shot 9 free throws. She got fouled 5 times in that game. All on shooting fouls. And not only that, she drew unbelievable foul from Jonquel Jones to get her on her 4th foul. She couldn't get into any rhythm. And Angel Reese is one of the better defenders in the WNBA already. Because she can guard in the perimeter, she can guard inside. And she's big enough and strong enough that she can deal with bigs. Like, and by bigs I mean like if she comes up against a legitimately tall player. I need to see what height Jonquel Jones is. Because she wasn't guarding Jones. She's 6'6". But anytime she did get into any situations where she was on her, it was fine. And then the opposite end, she's much quicker than them. So she's much quicker than Jones. She's going to be much quicker than a lot of the like out and out centers. So her best position is center. Like, it's not forward. It genuinely is center because playing center allows her to use her advantages. So I'm not that I'm worried with how she's going to play with Cardoso. It's that it negates her speed advantage, matching her up with other forwards. But when she's got the ability to guard the center, and it's the exact same with what's her name can really guard center. Elizabeth Williams she can guard bigs. So it's like a lot of the time they're going to put, because Elizabeth Williams is a little bit more polished offensively, they're going to put their centers on Angel Reese so that they can play a bit more help. Whereas Angel Reese is going to be able to burn them off the dribbles. So I do think that as like it probably will be offensively playing the center position, defensively just guard whatever 4 or 5 is the best on the other team is going to be a role. But early on in that game, she was struggling. She got the steal on Breanna Stewart, which was shown everywhere. She struggled big time with finishing. She didn't struggle offensively. She was drawing foul after foul after foul on Jones. And Jones was in and out of the game, and she was hitting her free throws. Like 7 of 9 from the free throw line. The exact same percentage as Caitlin Clark last night. It's a good percentage. Like, if you're shooting in and around that 75%, that's fine. Because, like, she really, like, the 2 of 8 in the first game was a big struggle. But all around, I'm sorry there. All around, Angel Reese is just the perfect glue guy. She's the perfect connector piece because she does everything. Other than actually putting the ball in the basket, she does everything else at a really good rate. She can dribble it well. Like, she's not a guard. Like, if she was a guard, she wouldn't handle it well, but she handles the ball well for a center. even for a forward. She passes pretty well for a forward. She passes ahead well. So like if she can get a board, she doesn't have to go find a point guard. She can make those fast break passes. She's not going to really push the floor as a guard, but like she needs to take 1 to 2 dribbles to make like a pass to advance the ball. She can do that. She's a pretty decent passer inside, and she's the best offensive rebounder in this league. And it's not even necessarily like that she's taller. She just wills her way. Her body positioning, I will say, is exceptional. It's absolutely exceptional. One thing she does really well is seal. So she's always looking for contact on the offensive end, because as far as like, I'm not going to use the word skill, but like as far as like what people would call skill, because what Angel Reese does is a completely different type of skill. She knows that her being our most effective is being inside, being physical, and the amount of times in that fourth quarter where she just had like Breanna Stewart or Jones just pinned. She'll just have a player pinned and the ball will go into her hands. Like, she boxes out super well, and teams do tend to switch off. That's the one thing I've really noticed in WNBA, is that boxing out's not really a thing, it seems. The more that I watch it, and the more I'm like, rather than just watching the games to watch the games like I have done previously, the more I'm having to like almost analyze the games at times for these channels, is that boxing out doesn't really seem like it's a thing. And Angel Reese is just using that to her advantage. She's going to average close to a double-double this year. She really is. While being one of the better defenders in the league. Like, a seriously good performance. And then the fact that a lot of it was in the fourth quarter, when they ended up going and winning from that. So honestly, I'm so impressed with how Angel Reese plays. Like, is it the prettiest game to watch? Not really. Like, when she goes on a run like she did in the fourth quarter, yeah, it's good to watch. But in general, like, most of that game, and most of the time on offense, like, almost all of her offense comes from rebounding. Comes from being one of the better offensive rebounders. As far as her defense, she can kind of switch on to anyone. She can guard anyone, and the effort is there. She's diving on every ball. If the ball's there to be won, like, she wins it. Like, the difference between her and Aliyah Boston, as far as motor is concerned, are completely night and day. Like, if a ball is me to my screen, which is like less than an arm length away from Aliyah Boston, as like this season with the way she's been playing, she's not going to grab it. Whereas Angel Reese Angel Reese wins balls she's got no right to win. Wins balls she's got no right to win. And obviously the reason why I'm talking about Angel Reese is it's the relevance, it's the rookie. It's as far as like we're talking about these, a lot of the time when we're talking about these players, the rookies are the most relevant. But Mabry was unbelievable for them. Like, the Chicago Sky were great. They couldn't, like, they are a team of dogs. Like, they all worked their ass off. They all crashed the board. Like, they had 18 offensive rebounds in the last game. I think they had 15, or they had 11 in this one, 15 second chance points. Like, they are just outworking teams. And, like, some of the big shots they hit down the stretch were brilliant. Breanna Stewart really struggled in the first half on Angel Reese. And then, other than the 4-point play, I think it was in the third where Angel Reese fouled her, she did a good job. And then a couple of times down the stretch where Breanna Stewart in garbage time just ran at Angel Reese to try to get some scores. Like, other than that, Angel Reese did a brilliant job on the MVP. It was a big time struggle. And, like, Ionescu was pretty good. Jonquel Jones was terrible. She had a terrible game. Like, she just could not deal with Angel Reese at all. Like, she was trying to rough up Angel Reese. Like, when Angel Reese drew that offensive foul and Jonquel Jones just ran through her. And another time, she basically just threw her on the ground. And in fairness to Angel Reese, just like Caitlin Clark, when she's getting milled, Angel Reese is just going to get up. Every time she gets hit hard, she's going to get up and she's going to just play her game, which is so impressive. Like, I didn't think she was going to be this good this soon. Do I think she's going to win Rookie of the Year? Probably not. Because even though the Sky are 100 times better than Fever, she's like the third or fourth best player on that team. But as I've always said, when it comes to just the style of play, Caitlin Clark can give you a 10 or a 2 out of 10 in any given game. She can be the best player on the floor, no matter who's on the floor with her, or she can be a player that might lose you a game. And there are so many players in the world that are like that, by the way. There are so many NBA players that are like that. They can win you a game or they can lose you a game. If they're killing it, they can win a game against anybody. But if they're struggling, they can lose you a game against anybody. Whereas Angel Reese is going to give you a 7 out of 10 performance every single game. And I don't mean 7 out of 10 for a rookie. I mean just in general 7 out of 10. Because, again, when you start the game off 0 of 7, all from within 2 feet of the basket, like, it's hard to say it was... And that's up to that stage, I was like, you know what, defensively, 8 out of 10. Offensively, not great. Give it a 6 out of 10 performance. But I think if I was to rate her performance out of 10, I'd probably go 8 out of 10. I think she was the catalyst down the stretch for them winning that game, regardless of what it showed on the scoreboard. She was the catalyst a lot for the early lead as well. And she would, like... I hope at some stage in their career, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese play together, because they would be perfect. If the Indiana Fever somehow managed to swing, like they could have gotten the 7th pick easily enough. If they somehow managed to swing it, I know Angel Reese obviously likes being in Chicago, but like as far as just play styles, they are perfect to play together. Like they're absolutely perfect. Like there's not much more of a match, like a better match made for two players in the way they play than Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And I hope at some stage in their career, the two of them play together, because 1, it will be absolutely box office. 2, like we know they get on with each other. They know neither, like, it's obviously the whole situation last year was just wild, but as far as just on the floor, they are two players whose games match perfectly. But it's such an impressive win for Chicago. The New York Liberty did not play well, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter that they didn't play well. The Chicago Sky played good defense. And most importantly, every single time down the stretch, they needed to hit a shot, the Sky hit it. And as far as hustle play goes, the Sky got it. Like, it's very rare in professional sports you can say one team wanted it more, but very clearly the Sky wanted it more. And they're a seriously, seriously good team just because of the way they play. Is it the most talented WNBA team? No, but when you're going to outwork every team you play against, you've got a shot against anybody, no matter what. And I'm glad Angel Reese ended the game well, so her box score looks good. I'm glad she had a brilliant fourth quarter, because I was getting ready on like 5 points, 5 rebounds to talk, like with a few minutes to go, having to think, how am I going to portray that regardless of the box score, how bad it looked, how much impact Angel Reese had on that game. And now at least the box score is there, so the box score watchers aren't going to be that annoyed. But 2 nights in a row, 2 incredible performances from the rookies, and they're both doing exactly what their team is needing them to do. And you might be saying, oh, but the Fever's losing. The Fevers suck. There's a reason they're getting the number 1 overall pick. Like, whereas Angel Reese is just doing all the little things, scoring when needed, and playing defense, and they're so different. They're completely different types of players. I still think, if you're asking me who's the better player, I'm going to say Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is the better player. But Angel Reese, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant game. As far as who is the better role player, Angel Reese is one of the better role players and glue guys in the WNBA right now. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. She's one of the best glue guys, defensive players, rebounders in the league right now. And without question is going to be an all-star.